نبرد آغاز شده است، سالها ظلم و ترس، یه پیام از پادشاه آیندمون، پایان حکومت اسلامی نزدیک است. برای آزادی خود بجنگید، شجاعت شما پاداش خواهد گرفت. قدرت مردم آزادی دوباره برقرار خواهد شد. خود بازگردی، تخت پادشاهی وارث واقعی ایران. رضا پهلوی امید و آرامش می آورد، آری از ترس و نامیدی. سقوط انقلاب اسلامی، پرچمان برداشته شده و پاره شده است. برخاستن از خاکستر، بازگشت شیر و خورشید. ملت بزرگ ایران بازگشت به شکوه سابقان. آزادی برای مردم ایران، فصل جدیدی از داستان آنه ها. تاریخ غنی سنت، ادیان باستانی تنمور. هنر، فرهنگ و علم، رفع محدودیت برای جامعه. صلح در سراسر کشور گسترش می‌یابد، همراه با همسایگانشان. ثبات در منطقه با شجاعت و کارشان. نبرد برای استقلال، سقوط رژیم نزدیک است. میلیون ها نفر جان خود را به خطر می‌اندازند، همچنان که به سوی تهران را پیمایی می‌کنند. مرگ بر دیکتاتور، رژیم سقوط خواهد کرد. اهتزاز پرچم، شیر و خورشید، صلح و آزادی برای همه. پادشاه به زودی باز خواهد گشت، ایران دوباره قیام خواهد کرد. رضا پهلوی رهبر واقعی ماست، آزادی در دوران حکومت او باز می‌گردد. ملت بزرگ ایران بازگشت به شکوه سابقان. آزادی برای مردم ایران، فصل جدیدی از داستان آنه ها. تاریخ غنی سنت، ادیان باستانی تننو. هنر، فرهنگ و علم، رفع محدودیت برای جامعه. نبرد آغاز شده است، سالها ظلم و ترس. یه پیام از پادشاه آیندمون، پایان حکومت اسلامی نزدیک است. برای آزادی خود بجنگید، شجاعت شما پاداش خواهد گرفت. قدرت مردم آزادی دوباره برقرار خواهد شد. به شکوه سابق خود بازگردید، تخت پادشاهی وارث واقعی ایران. رضا پهلوی امید و آرامش می آورد، آری از ترس و نامیدی. سقوط انقلاب اسلامی، پرچمان برداشته شده و پاره شده است. برخاستن از خاکستر، بازگشت شیر و خورشید. ملت بزرگ ایران بازگشت به شکوه سابقان. آزادی برای مردم ایران، فصل جدیدی از داستان آنه ها. تاریخ غنی سنت، ادیان باستانی تننو. هنر، فرهنگ و علم، رفع محدودیت برای جامعه. صلح در سراسر کشور گسترش می‌یابد، همراه با همسایگانشان. ثبات در منطقه با شجاعت و کارشان، نبرد برای استقلال. سقوط روژیم نزدیک است، میلیون ها نفر جان خود را به خطر می اندازند، همچنان که به سوی تهران را پیمایی می کنند. مرگ بر دیکتاتور، رژیم سقوط خواهد کرد، اهتزاز پرچم شیر و خورشید، صلح آزادی برای همه.
پادشاه به زودی باز خواهد گشت، ایران دوباره قیام خواهد کرد. رضا پهلوی رهبر واقعی ماست، آزادی در دوران حکومت او باز می‌گردد. ملت بزرگ ایران، بازگشت به شکوه سابقان، آزادی برای مردم ایران، فصل جدیدی از داستان آنها. تاریخ غنی سنت، ادیان باستانی، تنوع هنر، فرهنگ و علم، رفع محدودیت برای جامعه.
And hello to everyone again. Let me put my camera on. Did my little run. And yes, I wrote that song, the lyrics. Obviously, I translated as best as I could to Persian. It is dedicated to the people of Iran. And to me, out of respect, the Persian version gets played first. The English version second. And people will probably say, what was that all about? And that would be a legitimate question. Well, I'm going to put the video now, the English version.
The battle has begun. Years of cruelty and fear. A message from our future king. The end of the Islamic regime is near. Fight for your freedom. Your courage will be rewarded. The power of the people. Freedom will be restored. Back to your former glory. The throne of the real heir of Iran. Reza Pahlavi brings hope and peace. Free of fear and despair. The fall of the Islamic revolution. Its flag is removed and torn. Rising from the ashes. The return of the lion and the sun. The great nation of Iran. Ancient religions of diversity, art, culture and science. Removal of restrictions for the community. Across the country, together with their neighbors, stability in the region with their courage and their work. Battle for independence, the fall of the regime is close. Millions risk their lives as they march towards Tehran. Death to the dictator, the regime will fall. Waving the flag of the lion and the sun, peace and freedom.
Now, I did make this song available on SoundCloud, so people can, if they want to download it for free, and you can use it. I give you full permission to use it, as long as you use it for positive messaging, because that's what the song is about. Let me see if I can grab the links off SoundCloud. You can download them for free. Let me see. Okay, so let me see if I can copy the link for this one. Copy link. I'm going to post it. I may have to switch accounts. I think I got to switch accounts. I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, I think I got to switch accounts, because I'm not logged into that one. The link probably is not appearing, because I'm actually streaming to 2 YouTubes. But this is the main one now, the one you're on, Brian. All right, now I'm in here. Now let's see if I can post it. I don't know. I don't know if it's working. Maybe I have to close this chat and reopen it. That might be the reason. That one worked, I think. Brian, if you're still there, let me know if that's a clickable link. Let me see if I click it. For me, it does. But that's for me. Let me see if I can find the Persian. I'm not familiar with SoundCloud. I did it just for this. Tracks. Yeah, that'll work. And here's the Persian version. It works? What about this one? This is the Persian version. So the first one's the English version, and the second one is the Persian version. So I made it available for free. I don't want nobody to pay for it. This is written for the people of Iran. And there you go. I know you like the song, so now you can download it if you want. It's that simple. Anyway, Tycho, don't you start, my dog. He's like, he's so spoiled, he constantly wants to go out. It's just like, look at him. Because he is the baby. Right? You are my baby. You are the baby. You are the baby. The baby. You are the baby. All right, come on. Come on. I'm not taking him out yet. He's going to have to wait a few. I just took him out before I left. He's so spoiled. What's up, Dusty? Dusty, I will check out your songs when... Because I, just been a little bit busy the last week or so. But, yeah, that's... A lot of people like that song. Let me see if I see anything else going on. See, there's really not much coming on other than the martial law being imposed on the people of Iran. Yeah, she was awesome. That fearless woman that was at the UN that opened, she was, well, not open, but spoke about her personal experience. She was amazing. I'm surprised, actually, that there's not more clips of that. Do me a favor when you do play Mi Amor first. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll download my own video I don't know if I was talking over her. I don't think I was. And I'm going to cut out a clip of what she said today at the UN and post that, because I don't know if many people seen that. She was amazing. And right away, when the Iranian started his little lie campaign, he went right after them. Totally disgusting. But if you haven't seen it, the UN, I don't know if this probably isn't going to show enough of it. How many? Oh, absolutely not. This is a 1 minute and 38 seconds. There's no way. You have to see it in its total context. It was absolutely fearless and amazing what she said at the UN. Matter of fact, I can go back. Did anybody see that? She was, wow. I can go back on my old stream. And I can share the audio. Duh. Now, I don't know if this is the one. That cannot be the one, because it was longer. This is the one from earlier today. If you have not seen this, you should definitely pay attention to this. All right, I'm going to share it. I think this is important for people who may have missed it today. And to play both of them in their entirety. And put it out to the world, because this is so important, from their own personal experience, which was horrific. I don't really use that one, so I don't mention it. This is the main one. The other one, because I do a lot of sky watches and all kinds of stuff. That's like a secondary channel. But this is the main one that I use. The one you're on, Brian. All right, hold on. Let me make this full screen. Did you see this today, Brian? The UN Assembly emergency meeting over Iran? If you haven't, you need to listen to these two Iranians' personal experience. They were guests of the United States, and you know the Iranian went right after them. I know there's a delay, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to play it. Oh, you did see it? Well, I'm going to do it anyway again for those who may not have seen it, because I think it's really important, in my opinion. So just listen to them and look at the face when they show the Iranian, I don't even want to say delegate, because he doesn't deserve that title. The Iranian rep. All right.
Lead to further loss of life or ignite a wider regional escalation. Mr. President, the Secretary General reaffirms the principles of the Charter, including the obligation of member states to settle disputes by peace. These regulations must all deaths, in particular, should be relevant today as they were when the United Nations was founded. Thank you.
I thank Ms. Pope for the briefing. I now give the floor to Ms. Masih Ali-Najat.
Hello, everyone. My name is Masih Ali-Najat. I am a woman from Iran. Mr. President, Excellency, members of the Council, I am honored to be invited by the United States to testify before United Nations Security Council. I am here today to warn you, on behalf of millions of Iranians What is needed now to bring justice to those who order massacre in Iran is real and concrete action against a regime that do not understand the language of diplomacy. The United Nations has failed to respond with the urgency this moment demands. The Secretary General himself has not spoken publicly against the massacre unfolding in Iran. Only a written statement through his spokesperson, silence at this moment, send a signal, send a message to the killers of young protesters alongside their family members. I strongly believe that the regime in Iran heard the clear message from the Secretary General. I think the members of this body have forgotten the privilege and responsibility of sitting in this room. Secretary General, I know you hear me. I want to directly talk to you. Why are you afraid of the Islamic Republic? Millions of unarmed Iranians, innocent and unarmed protesters, have been silenced with bullets, mass arrest, prison, and a total communications blackout. No internet, no cell phones, and no landlines. They put Iran in a total darkness. I am here to bring their voices here in this room. I am here to tell you that a brutal slaughter has taken place in my beloved homeland, Iran, and it will get much worse if the world do not take serious action. Iran is facing a nationwide uprising that cuts across Iran, across the society, with a clear demand to end Islamic Republic. At the same time, a nationwide campaign by the Islamic Republic to erase it, to silence people. The protests start on December 28th, sparked by collapse of Iranian currency, but immediately turned into what Iranian people call it, a revolution, a total rejection against 47 years of tyranny and oppression. Protests spread to more than 100 cities and involved every layer of the societies. Shopkeepers, workers, teachers, nurses, and those who wave the historic lion and sun flag, and those ethnic minorities, including Kurds, Baluch, all other minorities, men and women, shoulder to shoulder in the streets. When it comes to freeing Iran, I have to say that loud and clear, that all Iranians are united. From Tehran to Tabriz, to Rash to Ahvaz, from major cities to small towns and villages, that we barely even heard the names of those small towns and villages in the media. They are in the street. Millions of Iranians flooded into the streets, demanding that their money stop being stolen and sending to Hamas, to Hezbollah, to Houthi, the money of the workers, the money of innocent people who do not have now the capability of to buy a bread. The entire nation looking at freedom right now. What followed was regime using military weapons, AK-47 against innocent people. According to Iran International Media Broadcasting, the death toll has passed more than 12,000. Just a day later, CBS reported more than 20,000 people have been killed, and they are not the numbers. They are not the statistics. We don't even know the real numbers. Citizen journalists from inside Iran have sent videos showing piles and piles of body bags on the top of each other. Iranians exiled. Because of the internet shutdown, they zoom in to make sure whether their relatives and their beloved one are on the body bags or not. I myself have received urgent phone call and phone messages from Iranians thanks to Starlink inside the country asking outside world for urgent help. They welcome when President Trump offered to rescue unarmed people being shot in their heart, in their chest, by the security forces inside Iran. One activist who cannot be named for his safety told me, the streets are full of dead bodies. They are finishing off the injured in the street. They told me the security forces have stormed into hospitals and taking away the injured. I have also received multiple messages from families of victims who say the security forces forced them to pay money to take the dead body of their beloved one to bury them. On January 8, 2026, the Islamic Republic shut down the internet and imposed a technical blackout. Not to stop protests, because people are fed up and they are in the streets anywhere, but to hide their crimes, their brutality. This was not a technical mistake or failure, it was deliberate. When a regime turns off the internet during mass killings, and at the same time, the leaders of the same regime using the privilege of freedom of speech on social media to mislead the rest of the world, it is not about restoring order. It is about destroying the evidence. If it was not for Starling inside Iran, we couldn't have been able to have even these informations. The Islamic Republic does not limit its crimes within its own borders. They kill their opponents at home and target those who expose their brutality abroad. Here, even here, on US soil, and every corner of the world. In Europe, in Canada, in Australia, everywhere. And they are not alone. This is called transnational repression, and the Chinese government helping them, Venezuelan dictators are helping them, Russian mobsters being hired by the Islamic Republic to target their dissidents and opponents beyond their own borders. I now address the representative of the Islamic Republic directly. You have tried to kill me 3 times. I have seen my would-be assassin with my own eyes in front of my garden in my home in Brooklyn. In United States of America, in the courthouse, I have seen my would-be assassin confessing that they have been hired by the Revolutionary Guards to end my life. My crime? Simply echoing the voice of innocent people that you killed them. Your leader, Ali Khamenei, he ordered my killing. He said that American agent who compared compulsory hijab to the Berlin Wall must be killed. I am that woman, and I am not the agent of America. I have agency, but I am thankful to American government and the law enforcement to protect my life. And it was not, if it was not the protection of the law enforcement, I couldn't have been here to testify for millions of people who are facing the same killers, facing the same terrorist regime in my country. Yes, protection matters. Unfortunately, I live with survivor's guilt because many Iranians do not have the same protection. The same IRGC with the same AK-47 killed them in front of the eyes of their family member. 2 would-be assassins received 25 years prison sentence here in New York, and I'm going to face 2 other killers being hired by the Islamic Republic in March, and they are the one who were assigned by the same IRGC member to assassinate President Trump. The Islamic Republic rules through fear. It makes people disappear from public life, from memory, from history. So today, I want to record the names of those who refuse to be afraid and erased. Setayesh Shafi'i, 20 years old. Before the internet was cut, she wrote on her social media, "They are cutting off my internet, but I love you all." She was killed by the Islamic Republic IRGC. Raybin Moradi, 17 years old, shot in the back a young football player. He was killed by the same IRGC. Mehdi Zad Parvar, a popular athlete, he wrote on his Instagram before going to the street, "I know I may be killed, but I have no fear. I want my rights." He was killed by the same IRGC. Siavash Shirzad, 30 years old, his family begged him not to go to the streets because of his safety. He said to his family, "I go to the street to celebrate the victory of our revolution because President Trump promised to rescue our lives." He was killed by the same Revolutionary Guards. Negin Qadimi, 20 years old, she died in her father's arms after being shot by the Revolutionary Guards member. I feel guilty that I don't name the rest. The list of names goes on and on. They knew they will face guns and bullets, but they wanted justice. So now let me name their killers. Ali Khamenei, who declared protesters would be put in their place. Judiciary Chief Ghulam Hussein Mohseni Ejei and the IRGC commanders who publicly vowed punishment would be maximum. Ali Larijani, who promised no mercy for those who questioned the regime, while his own daughter, his own family live here in the United States of America. They don't deserve to enjoy the privilege of freedom in America. Like the other children and relatives of the Ayatollah saying death to America, their relative live here in America. 3 years ago, another Iranian human rights defender stood here in this room to warn you about another nationwide protest, Women, Life, Freedom, after the murder of Mahsa Jina Amini for the crime of simply showing a bit of her hair. How many women are sitting here? You could easily get killed simply for showing your hair. Mahsa got killed. That sparked a revolution. And women and men shoulder to shoulder took to the street. More than 700 people got killed. We have seen this before. We have more names to remember. In 2009, Neda Agha Sultan, symbol of more than 100 people who got killed. They named President Obama to protect them. President Obama was looking to open the doors of diplomacy to a regime whose language of negotiating with its own people is guns and bullets. We've seen this in 2019 with Pouya Bakhtiari, who was killed in front of the eyes of his mother, Nahid Shirpishe. At the same time, President Biden was trying to keep the doors of diplomacy open, handing out billions of dollars to the regime that forced the family members to give money to the regime to take the dead body of their beloved one back. Faced with the regime using military weapons against civilians, the Iranian people are asking the world to help through actions, not back-to-back meetings and empty condemnation. We don't need empty words. People of Iran are asking the Islamic Republic, are telling you the Islamic Republic no longer can be reformed, and asking you that the Islamic Republic no longer be treated as a legitimate government. Today, the number of those killed is much higher than I told you. This regime, again and again, cannot be reformed. Let me be very clear. The Islamic Republic behave like ISIS, and the Islamic Republic must be treated like ISIS. This is how you can save lives. Thank you so much.
I thank Ms. Ali Najat for the briefing. I now give the floor to Mr. Ahmed Batibi.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have a note here, but I don't want to read from this note. I want to talk from my heart here and share my experience with you when I was in the prison of Islamic Republic. My name is Ahmed Batibi, Iranian-American journalist and human rights activist. A few years ago, when I was a student, the Iranian regime arrested me and sent me to jail for attending a demonstration, exactly that thing we see in the street right now in Iran. And they said that demonstration against the government, Islamic regime in Iran, is fighting with the government, and we are representative of the God, of Allah on the earth. And when you fight with our regime, it means you fight with God. And based of the Islamic rule, Sharia, your punishment is death. They gave me capital punishment. They sent me jail. They kept me 2 years in solitary confinement. They tortured me, many torture, including fake execution. They killed other people and kept me there. I watched them, how they die to torture me. For 3 times they did that. They cut my body and put salt on my body. I can show you, if you do not believe me, I can show you my body right now to see the sign of these cuts. They torture mentally and physically for many reasons. One of the demand they had was bring me front of the camera of state TV to tell to people I'm a spy of United States. They torture me. I go and say, I got money from the United States, Mossad, Israel, CIA, to run demonstration against the government. I never did that, but they torture me to do that. Exactly same situation we have in Iran right now. If you see the state TV, you see many innocent people. They came in the streets, just chant their rights, and the Iranian regime put them in front of the camera, and they say that, yes, we are agent of this Mossad. And right now I'm here. After 1 decade of the prison, I had this chance to escape from the prison. And this country, the United States of America, opened the door in front of me. I come here. I'm safe here. And in front of you, gentlemen, representative of demonic regime in Iran, the Ayatollah's regime. When we are talking about Iranian regime, we do not talk about a normal regime. We are talking about demonic cult. They have their own ideology. They have gun. They have money. And their mission is exporting their ideology to other countries. I don't want to talk about the details, but this is their mission. They have a technique. They have some chief apologists. Their job is coming here and clean the face of the regime, and they wash their bloody hand of the regime. But it doesn't work anymore. I'm here in front of you. You tried to kill me, but you couldn't. You cannot kill all the people. And don't laugh, sir, don't laugh at me, because a day we come top of your head, and you have to go court and answer for all those things you do here today, sir. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. 2 days ago, I was talking to someone who worked for government. He said that in the media, you see that they say 12,000 people died just during these days we have demonstration. That's correct. But the accurate number is much, much more than that, because the Iranian regime buried the people, the dead people, without any identification. They do not give chance to their family even go and get their body, and they bury them in unknown cemeteries. The number of dead people is much, much more than this. I was talking to an activist in Iran. He said that many of those people right now killing people in the street, they are Iranian regime proxy forces. Hashd al-Sha'bi from Iraq, Hezbollah from Lebanon, Fatimiyun or I don't know, Zainabiyun, they are Afghan people. He said that many of these people shoot us. They cannot even talk Farsi, and they talk Arabic with Iraqi accent. Everything I have to say, details, Masih said that I don't want to get the time. But the only thing you have to know that, sir, you saw a lot of bravery during these days from Iranian people. But it's not enough. You cannot go fight with a demonic regime like Islamic Republic, which has gone ammo, money, power, and everything. We need your help. Not just condemning something or say that, no, it's bad, don't do it. We need actual act. We need physical act. I want to talk to the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. I appreciate you, President. Everything you do is awesome. But during these days, you encourage people to go in the street. That was the good thing. But don't leave them alone. They need your help. You encourage them, and they are in the street. Please listen to them. They are chanting. They say what they want. They need your help. If you leave them alone, I'm talking about all official and leader of the world, we need your help. If you leave them alone, we cannot change the regime in Iran. And we continue this mass killing and genocide in Iran. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I wanted to replay that. That was from earlier today at the UN. Just to catch people up if they missed it. I won't even replay what the Russian delegate said or the Iranian or the Chinese. It was just so Pakistan, typical, the Axis. And really, the lack thereof, other than just the words, the usual words like he said of condemnation by the UK and France and others. So I think that was a powerful presentation, briefing by those two individuals. Now, in my personal opinion, the UN is paper tiger bullshit. That's just my own opinion. But at the same time, I found it interesting, some of the statements that were made. And I hope the president was briefed or was watching. You have to see the expression. Because he left. He was gone. And then someone else sat in his place. And you should have seen the look on her when the Iranian was speaking. And those that were here know, it looked like she wanted to go over that table and literally punch him in the face. You'll see the disgust. And she's like, I was like, oh, she's pissed. The Indians, there was no Indian delegation there. Neither did Germany or Israel. There were some that were not there. Or they didn't have the opportunity to do anything today. Wasn't that a great presentation by both of them? And they were brutally honest. And he's there smirking. It looked like she was staring him down. She wanted to smack that smirk off his face. And he was laughing. And he said, don't laugh. They think it's a fucking joke. And you know Russia's going to support it. You know China's going to support it. Because they actually feel their geopolitical influence there is threatened. China's dependency on Iran for oil. It's their own access along with North Korea. Iran supplying drones to Russia against Ukraine. I mean, it's obvious. There's certain players involved on both sides. It is no joke. And I mentioned this yesterday when I was reading that think tank military analysis of the situation, specifically the importance of the carrier. And I read that, and it's like, see, we need that carrier there. Because, like I read the messages earlier from a friend. You know who he is, Marco. You know who he is, Bob. Some of you know who this is, Commander Cobra. Because I asked him if he knew anything or heard anything. Look what he said to me. And he said this to me because I said, is there anything you would like to discuss? Because I will mention it. This is what he wrote. This was earlier. I read this once a little while ago, but I'll do it again. Soft word is Israel needed time to prepare for backlash after strike, and our forces cannot use Qatar. Lincoln Group full speed west to get to strike range. That's the carrier. I think the issues are hitting the right targets and ending the mullah thugs control. The IRG, Revolutionary Guard, the problem. They need to be stopped. Rumors Iran uses dirty bombs in retaliation strikes. The Iranian government is going after itself. Internal fights possible. Overthrow. That's probably why they detain and house arrest the former president and his deputy. Some talk that IRG has arrested members of the government. That's what he sent me. That they would even use a dirty bomb at Israel. That is amazing. And there was word that Netanyahu even spoke to the president saying, wait. Because obviously there is information that the public is not aware of. Obviously. It may not just be as simple as Qatar, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Turkey told the president to give them another chance. Bullshit. There's no negotiating with them. There's no negotiating with them. And she brought up a great point. Look what Biden and Obama. How'd that work out? There's no negotiating. They only know power through strength and force. Because that's what they do. So how do you counter that? With fucking force. In my opinion. So I think it's coming. And I know people are saying, what's going on? Help. When is going to hit? It has to be when the time is right. And Tusi mentioned this earlier on his stream. And it's true. I've been saying it for a few days. It's horrific what happened and the amount of people who've lost their lives and are now incarcerated, prison, detained, or worse. There's no doubt about that. But there's a saying, might have lost the battle, but you're going to win the war. I hate to use that analogy, but you have to think of the longer term consequences here and what the final outcome would be. Do you know what I mean? After revolution, I don't think Iran will unite or not. Tusi's live again? Or are you just posting what he had earlier? Let me ask you a question. Yes, in any situation when there's a change in government, it's always fragile and it takes a lot of work. But don't you think the Iranian people want the opportunity to have that chance rather than deal with the current situation? Could that be worse than what's going on now? Who knows? Time will tell. Time will answer that question. But based on, and you cannot deny what they're chanting in the streets. I mean, people try to say, oh, that's AI and this and that. I think the vast majority of the people in Iran want change. And yes, there's economic ties to this. and the cruelty and oppression and the lack of freedom. That's just, and I'm not on the inside, I don't know. I'm just speaking from seeing this, from all the stuff that I've been observing and listening to. And yes, depending on what you watch, you can be swayed one way or the other. To be, honest. So I get that. It doesn't sound good in Iran tonight with martial law being enforced and not much info coming out. Does not bode well. Hopefully the outcome comes soon for the U.S. strike. And again, everybody has their own personal opinion. I respect it. But I think it's going to happen soon. And like I said, I was so angry. And I know that a few of you were here earlier when we watched this whole thing. I literally had to take something for a migraine headache, and my blood pressure must have been so high that I was getting worried. Literally. It had my blood boiling. Especially, China is China. But when that Russian delegate went off, I was like, you're such a hypocrite. Are you trying to dictate to us? Why don't you go look in the mirror? And the total disrespect, disgusting lie after lie after lie by the Iranian. Some of you were here when we watched it live. Absolute, abhorrently disgusting. Rez Kid says, I talked to my family in Iran. It's all hell. I pray for your family. My candle's burning. My candle's burning right up there. Right next, I'm getting my flag in a few days. It's going to hang right there. Sun and lion. Lion and sun. But that's also a Ukraine-U.S. flag in my support to the Ukrainian people. But that's another issue. And again, my prayers go out to you and your family, Rez. And to all the people that are Iranian, Persian, that have direct connection to what's going on there. But I think it's also important for people in an international community to call it for what it is and speak out against it. The power of the people. Whatever we can do. Because I know one thing. In this country, to the most extent, because I can't say that 100%, the freedom of speech, and like I said, I put that in quotations, because that's even questioned at times. Here. That's a struggle. Democracy is fragile. You always have to fight for it. Fight for your freedoms. Stand up to your freedoms. Because slowly, if you allow it, it'll slip away. Piece by piece by piece by piece. My opinion. U.S. policy toward Iran only hurts ordinary Iranian people from sanctions. I know. That's the horrible thing, because the Iranian government's going to look after the Iranian government. That's not going to trickle down to the people. It's just hurt. You're right. It does hurt the people. They're ultimately the ones that pay the price. Absolutely. That's undeniable. I agree with that. Visa bans to outright banning Iranians. All of it ends up punishing the people, not the government. I agree with you. Sadly. Because they couldn't care less. They've got their shit filled with resources, money, funding. And that is the reality of it. The people suffer. It's always the people, the innocent people that suffer. they're accepted easily and their kids live like kings there. And this guy's drinking water on the table. That really pissed me off. You don't understand how much that pissed me off. Watching this guy fill his glass up with water after cup, filling it up. Meanwhile, the people in Iran don't even have that water like that, and especially specifically in Tehran, really to the north. I would really, for people that are not aware, do the research. This is such a crisis, and I did some studying on it. They built a highway that split their lake, and that screwed it up. It screwed the whole aquifer, the water supply. And I did, like I said, I was watching stuff on this. Some kind of highway they built that split right through it. They think that that could have resulted in what's going on with the lake itself. The lake is almost dry. You got to see video from, like, say, 2022, what it looked like, to what it looks like now. There are some projections that Iran will have absolutely no water by September. And what's the population in Tehran? Is it 20, 30 million? Alexa, what's the population of Tehran, Iran?
Tehran's population is around 9.7 million.
Oh, it's a lot less than
with about
I thought.
15 million in the metropolitan area.
15 million in the metropolitan area. She just didn't make sense at all. That didn't even make sense. Yeah, we can only pray for their safety. They're right now on pretty much house arrest, martial law. They can't come out of their houses. I showed a video earlier of them patrolling the streets and on loudspeakers. Don't come out. Stay in your house. And what happens if they come out? Will they be shot? What clip? What clip do you want me to show? You want me to show a specific clip, Rachel? Which one? Right, Marco? And like I always say, I don't like to let my emotions get the best of me, but how can you not? Because I like to say, I'd rather think than feel, but how could you not feel? Which video again, Amol? Oh, the one with the commander's daughter? That one? Is that what the one you're talking about? That was, oh my God. That is, I may not watch it again because I'm going to freaking, I cannot put Tusi stuff on the screen. That's Tusi property. I can't share his, I don't want Tusi to get on me. I can't play Tusi. I'll get in trouble. See, he and Goldie have something worked out. I would love to play Tusi, but it's not right for me to do that. I don't feel right doing that. Even to stop it, play it, stop it, play. For that, the best thing is to go watch Tusi. It was just a clip. You're talking about the curfew? All right, guys, I'm getting confused because there is the curfew videos out there. I can pull it up on the screen. I played it earlier. What I need to do, honestly, is be better prepared and download some of these clips so I don't have to go through this. Oh, now the Yankees stepped at their offer to Bellinger. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I just saw it on X. I think Nufti posted the video. Oh, was it? No. Was it? I'll just find it. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Remember, at 10 a.m., Reza Pahlavi is going to have a press conference. I think it's in D.C., live. I'm going to try to cover that. Well, this is a nighttime video. There is a daytime video. But I'll put the nighttime video on first. Hold on. I don't want to sound like somebody else when I say that. Please hold on. Like, please hold. I don't want to even go there. Okay, so let's put the audio.
افتر شب جمع کافه ترور کسی رو تو ول نمی کنم به زور دستی هم آغشته نمیشه به خون رب داری خیر سرت بی عمر زدین عجیب فقیر زدین اسمشو رو حساب میهن لیدرتون قایم زیر زمین کجا طبقه منفی 20 میتونیم مثل
So that's one. Wait till you see the other one. Because you can hear them on their PAs, what they're saying to the people. Let me find that one. So you can hear what they're broadcasting. Here we go. Here's one. Oh, yeah. I'll let it play again. Horrible. Horrible. Just simply horrible. This is what the conditions now. Total, like, lockdown on them. So this isn't so much now about the protesters. That phase, I think that window's done. The only real solution here, and I hate to say this because I'm not a war hawk, the only solution is military. We got to take these thugs and these, we got to do something. To me, that's cyber, military, sanctions, a combination of everything. There's more. Oh my God. Yeah, I saw. That's an old video. I'm not going to re-show that video I showed earlier with the commander's daughter. That was horrific. So there, Tusi showed this one on his stream earlier about that in some cities, some areas, they are still defying the martial law and going out on the streets. Tusi played this earlier. That was one of the videos Tusi showed about that. Still in some areas of Iran, despite the martial law being imposed, there are still people going out there and protesting. I don't even like to use the word protesting. They're expressing their desire for freedom and to the regime to fall and to bring back their king. And I know some people's comments about the monarchy. I get it. I understand. Let me see if I find the daytime video. I don't even want to show that one. And you got to remember, I mean, you have Elon played a major role as much as possible with the Starlink. But there's another video from daytime that somebody filmed, and I was like, wow, it looks like a ghost town. I'm trying to find that video. And you can see how they're intimidating everybody on the streets. And I'm also going to look to see if anybody's posted something lately. Okay. Here's one. I'm going to try to bring it bigger here. How they've got these people on the streets. Check this out. Did I see guns on top there? Oh, look at that. Are they not armed? With lethal force? No? Quite a bit of them, huh? Look at this. AKs, you can see they are armed to teeth. And you think those guns are for show? Total intimidation and just outright fear. That is unbelievable. But that's not actually the video I was looking for. Unbelievable. I can't find the video I saw earlier. I was like, wow. What is this? Holy Jesus Christ. What the hell? Again, I cannot confirm the authenticity of these. But they're shooting at people. Look at this. I would go after the guy in charge. You can see he's the one that's giving them the orders. The guy that was waving them on. Look at them. Look at this. He's got a shotgun that looked like. Oh my God. I'm gonna replay the video and put the sound. Wow. Seriously, wow. What is this? So, I don't know if this is true, and this is the problem. Saudi Arabia has formally informed Washington that it would not permit United States military aircraft to use Saudi airspace for any strikes against Iran. I heard that Qatar did that. My friend told me that. Qatar said, you're not using our airspace, our bases. Your base here. Or our base, that you're, whatever. It says here that Saudi said the same thing. So was it Saudi convinced them? And Qatar and Turkey? Or did they just say, we're not going to allow you to use your bases to attack Iran? That's why the carrier is so important. And of course the B-1s and subs and all the other assets we have for cruise missiles, Tomahawks, and everything else. But that's what I just read. I don't know. I'm just reading what I'm seeing here. It wouldn't surprise me. Because Iran said you will be targeted. If you allowed the U.S. to use your bases on your territory, you are now a target as well. All right, let me see if anybody else is posting stuff. Okay, Lindsey Graham's old stuff that he's traveling to Israel to meet with Netanyahu. I don't think Rez is going to do anything because he's got a press conference at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern. I am definitely watching that. I'll stream it. Yeah, nothing more recent with him. I showed the video with Ted Cruz supporting Iran earlier. I'm going to check something else out now. I'm going to see if the president has made any last, like statements lately. On Truth Social, no. Just that the Maria Machado meeting. So it's pretty quiet. And people will say, is this the quiet before the storm? Could be. Because he's not saying much about this right now. What was I going to look for? I was going to look for something else. Oh, yeah. Not that I'm expecting to see anything. And what time is it? It's already morning in Iran. And supposedly they were delaying the executions for a day or two. Do you think they're going to do anything like that in Iran? Do you think they're going to carry out with that? They delayed it, but do you think they'll eventually start carrying out executions? Nothing abnormal on flight radar. Normal traffic. civilian. So nothing unusual like last night. Oh my gosh, that was... All right, let me see. We just don't know how good we have it in the USA. I was mentioning that earlier, Tank. But even we have to strive for our freedoms and fight for our freedoms every day. What's up, Chantal? I want to see if there's anything coming on Telegram with the ones I follow in Israel. I gotta put my glasses on for this one. So sad. Oh, that's a sign. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's an ad. That's not what I want to see. Out of nowhere, they posted about a 6.0 earthquake off the coast of Oregon a short while ago. That was a half hour ago. A 6.0 earthquake off the coast of Oregon. It's the first time I'm hearing about that. We saw the video with the commander's daughter. They're posting about what we just witnessed in the UN earlier. So yeah, this is all older. Yeah, there's nothing new coming in from Israel. It's amazing though. Silence could be an indicator. You might read too much into that, but everybody's quiet right now. It's like it makes me wonder if it's just too quiet. What's going on in here now? It's 8 a.m. now in Iran. You guys are too much in chat. Chantal is hanging out with Marco on the other one. And Dusty is over there. Yeah, right? The calm before the storm. Arat says the same thing. That's what I was thinking too. It's just the calm before the storm. So obviously we cannot depend on Qatar, Saudi Arabia, I'm sure Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait. They're off the table. So what is the other options militarily? Refueling, B-1Bs, subs. I heard there was a destroyer there nearby. The strike group is coming. Is that enough? I don't know. That's something wrong. That a friend of mine used to joke with that. See, Marco, that's why a lot of people brought this up in the other chat. It would happen on the weekend because of the effect of the market. If you think about it, there is a pattern. Venezuela, Saturday morning early. Midnight Hammer, Sunday morning early. Weekend. This is a 3-day weekend. Remember, it's a holiday weekend. For most, Martin Luther King, Monday. Are the markets closed on Monday? Alexa, is the stock market exchange closed on Monday for the holiday?
The stock market market is closed on Monday, January 19th, 2026, for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
So, if I was to say if something would have happened this weekend, it would be possibly it could be Monday morning, Iran time, so Sunday afternoon here, or Saturday afternoon, my time, which would be Sunday morning in Iran. Thoughts, opinions, anybody? What do you think? Or would it
Exactly right.
Alexa, stop.
Tehran-
Or would it happen next weekend? Is waiting over a week just too much at this point? Oh, no, I am not comparing Iran to Venezuela. I made that clear earlier today. Absolutely not. There is no comparison. I'm saying as far as timing. Midnight Hammer, when they hit the nuclear sites, happened on an early Sunday morning at their time. Venezuela happened early in their morning hours. That's what I'm saying, because of the possibility of how it would affect the market. I'm not saying I'm comparing Venezuela with Iran, because there's no way. Exactly, Saturday morning, our time. It would happen at night, obviously, local time. Dusty says an F-35 has an effective range of 1,350 miles. It's just a little over double that from Basra to Tehran, which means any strike aircraft would need refueling. Thus, the tankers that are in the area. But now where are the tankers? Because it seemed like a whole bunch of tankers took off of Qatar. They relocated them. Where'd they send them? Diego Garcia is not that big. And that's where the B-1Bs would be, if they were there. So, logistically, would they fly them out of Germany? Does that even make sense? And fly them over the Mediterranean? Or would the UK help us with their Voyager refuelers? I mean, what the heck? I mean, but that's in the Mediterranean. We're talking about the Persian Gulf, which is on the other side. Azerbaijan. Eric, how the heck are you? Current location of the Lincoln. Well, I know it was. If anybody has any latest data on the Lincoln, obviously we know it's moving west toward the region. When it gets there is anybody's guess, because that's a guesstimate. People saying a day, 2 days, 3 days, a week. UK planes taking off tonight. Yeah, the Iraqi airspace. Israel flies over Iraq all the time. I don't know about Iraq, though. I know we got to take out the proxies in Syria, Iraq. We're going to be able to see if a strike was going to happen by knowing if the KC's refuel craft have launched from Turkey. Turkey's not going to they are not helping us. I don't trust Turkey for nothing. Germany, yes. Kuwait, 50-50. I'm not so sure about Kuwait. I wonder, Marco, you never know. Space Command, sonic weapons, you never know. Definitely cyber is going to play a role, but we have to be careful about a counter cyber. You can't underestimate the Iranians when it comes to cyber too. Rachel, what was on the news? The UK planes? I predict it will be Friday afternoon, which would be Saturday morning Iranian time. And we won't hear about it until Friday night. What's the flight radar looking like? Let me put the military filter. Which, again, we're not going to see what they don't want us to see, obviously. So it's kind of interesting to look at, but really you're not going to see much that they don't want you to see. That's a C-17, if I had to guess. Yeah. There's no U.S. markers on those. The RAF has a base here, right there. No activity to be seen that we can see with the transponders, but doesn't mean they're not there. Let's go up toward Germany and the UK, Scotland, Ireland. Crash? What is that? Germany. Interesting. Call something. Call letters. Yeah, so see, it's quiet. But that does not mean there's a lot more there that we just can't see. I want to look at the Pacific near Japan. See a lot more. At this point, transponders are off. That looks like a fueler. Canada. It's an Airbus though. Canada. Am I missing something here? Oh yeah, okay. And remember, where am I? I gotta zoom out. Let's go this way. Where is it? It's down here. Where's Diego Garcia? It's somewhere down here. I think it's right here. That's it right there. And there's the strip. It's UK, but they allow us to use it. That's exactly it, what we need to be paying attention to as well. So yeah, there's a lot to take into consideration here. Of course they don't want us to see. Why would they? I think we've shown enough transponders on flight radar. I think that shit is done. Yeah, Diego Garcia. Could be B-1Bs there now. Waiting. I wonder what we got in the UK. I am not even bringing up France. But I think the UK would provide support. I'm surprised I'm even saying I think. The world is waiting and the world is watching. Marco plays Slim Whitman on loudspeakers. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I even question the UK. And I don't mean no offense by that to the, the English, British populace. But I mean, my gosh. Do you guys have any faith in saying with certainty that the UK's got our back? Anybody? And I mean 100% certainty that they would help us. Well, yes, well, we do in the UK bill, but I'm saying, let's just say, would they allow our bombers and other assets to take off from UK bases to attack Iran? Refuelers circling to fuel them up, get them there, come back. Rachel says no. That's what I'm saying. Or Ramstein, Germany, and other bases in Germany? Yes, no? That's the question. The nice thing is that we get the facts. Oh. Trump doesn't want to attack. It's not about he can't manage military things. Actually, Iraq, to be honest, I think he knows we're not ready. And Israel's not ready. I think it's all about precaution. As much as you can. The Arab countries said, we are not using our bases. So, in order to do something, and I agree with Tusi when he said it, everybody wants to go now. We may not be ready for the now. You know? And I get it. I'm just saying, I'm just voicing that perspective. But I totally respect your point. I'm sorry to say, all I can say is that they said on the news tonight his militaries are taken off to meet USA planes. Rachel, where did you see that? I'm going to look at that. I'm going to see if I find any information on that. Do you know the news outlet? Which news, though? Oh, shit. Hold on. But they're not putting... That is very misleading article. And it's from Sky News. Very misleading. They're all talking about the carrier. I'm trying to find it. It does take time to plan. You watch so many? And maybe it's on X. Because I am not seeing any relevant articles related. I'm not finding anything. I'm going to try X. At least the mainstream media, I'm not seeing anything. Which is not a surprise. No, these are all old stuff. I'm not seeing anything. Doesn't mean that you haven't seen it, because I believe you. I'm just not finding anything. Oh my God. I'm not even, I mean, some of these.
Bro,
What?
you got any chips?
Check on near my table. There's very little near underneath the table where I sit on near the couch. Whatever's there is there. Madonna comes out to make a statement on Iran. Get lost. Give me a break. Oh my God. These Hollywood types and... No. No. I'm not seeing anything on X related to that. Yet. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything of any kind of new information coming out at all. It's all regurgitated. The same people are sharing the same things that have been out there for the last day or two. Yeah, but we got to pay attention to that. What? Bob, please. I saw the General Flynn one earlier. He was making comparisons. Yes, I'm with you on the prayers, on everything you just put in there, Tank. Tank says, please join me in prayer tonight for our military, the Iranian people, and Israel. I'm going to get some shut-eye. Go rest, dude. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And you have a great night. Blessings to you and your family. Oh my God, Bob. I'm not even going to mention that what you mentioned. There's nothing about that. I want to see if the White House. Nothing on the White House. I'm surprised we're not seeing any reaction from the UN. I mean, like, really? I'm looking it up now. Nothing. I'm just keeping flight radar on the screen. Nothing. I'm going to check Mark Levin because he's outspoken. I'm sure he said something about everything that went down. I'd be shocked if he didn't. Oh my God, stop. That's Mom. So he posted, he watched it. He wrote, kudos to the U.S. ambassador and his team for putting the Islamic Republic of Iran on defense today at the UN Security Council. This is how we should be using the council. Force the regime to fight on every front. It all adds up to the tipping point. That doesn't even make sense. Let's see what you guys are writing. Kevin, Reagan, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff outlines 4 demands and asks Iran to return to the League of Nations, threatens a bad alternative. They're not going to... Do you know what the demands outlines, the 4 demands? They're not going to agree to anything. You can't negotiate with them. It's probably so outlandish in their eyes, the demands by the U.S., that for them to agree on 4, let alone 1. But I'm going to see if I can find it. Oh my God. This was today? This is, and I see an article on it. Okay, good. You sent me an article. I'm going to read an article of what I'm reading. I'm definitely going to check that out. This is an article. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff suggests that the Trump administration prefers a diplomatic resolution rather than a military one to the ongoing tensions with Iran. Asked in an onstage interview at the Israeli-American Council Conference in Florida if he thinks the U.S. military strike against Iran is likely, he said, quote, "I hope there's a diplomatic resolution. I really do," end quote. The U.S. envoy said a diplomatic agreement with Iran would address 4 issues. 1, nuclear enrichment. 2, missiles. Right there, that's not even, they're not going to agree to that the missile part. And nuclear enrichment. They have to cut back on their inventory. Good luck. 3, the actual nuclear material that they have, which is roughly 2,000 kilograms, enriched anywhere between 3.67 and 60%. They're not handing that shit over. And the proxies. These are all non-starters. Pick one. They're not agreeing to that. And they probably know that already. There's no way they're going to agree to all 4, let alone 1 or 2. Maybe 1. I don't even know. That's a non-starter. And they've already said that. The Iranian government said... But that just because they say something doesn't mean that they won't. Behind the scenes. But it would be a delay tactic. Witkoff suggests that Iran may be willing to compromise on all 4 issues because its economy is in such dire straits. If they want to come back to the League of Nations, we can solve those 4 problems diplomatically. Then that would be a great resolution. The alternative is a bad one. I think it's going to be the alternative. Asked if he had a message to the people of Iran who want their regime to fall, quote, "They're incredibly courageous people and we stand with you," end quote. Now I think it's just they're making an offer they know they're going to get turned down. But we made an offer. We can say we made an offer, but they refused. To me, that's the ploy. Let me see something. Because I know they said something in the past on this. Look, and this is an old article, but I know they said it. When is this? This was in December. At least this is what they say publicly, because I remember this came out. Iran says ballistic missile program is defensive and not negotiable. There goes one. At least publicly, that's their statement. Iran's ballistic missile is designed for defense to deter any attack and not subject to negotiation. This was December 22nd. And he says, therefore, Iran's defensive capabilities designed to deter any aggressor from considering attack on the country are not up for discussion. I think that's a non-starter. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just publicly saying that, but willing to negotiate on it behind the scenes. I know one thing. Israel's itching to hit them. Yeah, that's not negotiable. Arat says too. That's not negotiable. Not happening. I think that's a non-starter. But at least they can say we tried to make a deal. Hey, look, we offered them this deal. Probably knowing they're not going to agree to it, but at least we offered them a deal. It sounds more like an ultimatum. You can't trust it. Trust those people. There's no way. Look what they're saying on state TV about the president. I was so pissed yesterday when I saw on state TV they had a photo of our president when he was nearly assassinated and said next time it won't miss, or I got to get the quote. I got to find that. I was like, they just threatened the president. On one telecast, they said we should capture him. And all this crazy talk.
Bro.
What?
I'm gonna take a cigarette, bro.
Go ahead. Let me see if I can find it. Did you guys see that? On the one that they showed on Iranian state TV? I was like, what? That's 100% a threat in my eyes. 100%. Oh yeah, this time the bullet will not miss the target. The fuck does that mean? Were they involved with the first attempt? This time, the bullet will not miss the target. So are you admitting you were involved in this attempt on the president's life? Look. And they put this on state TV. They showed this with that caption saying that. This was on state TV. Think about that. Is, to me, am I over reading into this? Or did they just threaten our president on state TV? To me, that's a fucking threat. There was an earthquake off the coast of Oregon, I believe, a 6.0. Somebody can check that. Chantel says it was fake. Yeah, that's a concern. Sleeper cells. Porous border. You know, we think about human trafficking. Well, there were some real bad characters also. You can't negotiate with evil, Deb says in one chat. What happened, Eric? The deal could be limited to strictly to the nuclear program, the same terms that were in the JCPOA. Oh my God. Do you think the president who withdrew us from that is going to agree or try to come to close to anything that was even close to the JCPOA? Did Japan have an earthquake? You guys, some of you are saying that. I'm looking now. Thanks for the link, Bob. The big one was off of Oregon. Well, not a big one, but a 6.0. Oregon. Bandon, Oregon. That's what I'm seeing. I don't see anything about Japan. Oh my gosh, Amol. Yeah, they're common. Earthquakes are definitely common, Eric, in Japan, no doubt. That's the Ring of Fire. Dusty. What is this? Recent earthquakes. Yeah, the Oregon one. Off the coast. 6.0. All right, so, like, it's after midnight. I'm not going to waste anyone's time. But to start the day tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Eastern, Reza Pahlavi is going to have a news conference with the press, the whole deal. I'm going to get up to cover it to see what he has to say. So that's at 10 a.m. So I'll come on like 9:30. So I'm really interested to see what he has to say. I'll say for now the Crown Prince. I know people refer to him as the king. But there's going to be a press conference by him 10 a.m. tomorrow. We definitely need to see what he has to say. Because his team is working alongside our administration. They're all coordinating. Meanwhile, Lindsay's going to be hanging out with Netanyahu. That's going to be interesting what's said there once he gets there. So there's a couple of things to keep an eye out for tomorrow. And also, will Iran, well, it would have happened already. Will Iran plan any executions? So there's a few things to, keep an eye on. And any statements from the president, he doesn't sleep. He might post something on Truth Social at 3 a.m. That seems to be his busy time, like 3, 4 a.m. He just goes off on his posts. He goes through that. So there's a few things just to keep an eye on. Obviously, I know a lot of you are keeping an eye on the movements of the carrier, the Lincoln, heading west. The speculation that something would happen on the weekend. Because that's all it is, speculation. So there's a lot of things to keep an eye on in the next definitely I would say 48 to 72 hours. At least for now. The weekend. The weekend, because right now it is like 8:45 a.m., something like that in Iran. Alexa, what's the time in Iran?
It's currently 8:41 a.m. in Tehran, Iran.
Yeah. So we have to keep an eye on tonight. Well, not tonight, my time. Tomorrow afternoon, like 4-ish on, where it's after midnight in Iran. Does anybody think anything would happen Saturday morning in Iran? I say no. I'm thinking at the earliest Sunday morning in Iran, which is Saturday afternoon here. Before I leave, first of all, yes or no? You think anything is going to happen this weekend? Yes or no? It may be too soon even by the weekend because of the carrier. And you're not going to rush into it. Rachel says yes. Amol says yes. If anything, it might happen Sunday morning their time or Monday morning. Shane says yes. Angel Eye says yes. Oh wow! So far the majority are saying yes. They think something's going to go off this weekend. Again, Amol, it's so easy to say the Persians will liberate themselves when they're under martial law and the majority of them, the vast majority, are unarmed, and you're facing a strong military, IRGC, security force intimidation. Iran is not a slouch of a military. They are powerful. Those people have no chance. They'll be slaughtered like they have been. But then again, you could always go to the David and Goliath metaphor in this case. There's no way. There is no way. Every time this happens, they've been suppressed by the regime. It's not like here in the United States where we have the Second Amendment and there's like 350 million weapons out there by citizens. It's not like that. No. I mean, they're doing their best and being brave and courageous. But, you know, there's only so much you can do. I mean, they're literally slaughtering them, massacring them. So my thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Iran.
I know.
Anyway, as you could see, perfect timing to end the stream because we have a little action going on in the background here.
Yeah, I can't see nowhere.
Guerrilla warfare works when you have weapons. And then you're going to hear, well, the Mossad is bringing over weapons, or the United States is bringing over weapons to arm them, which is very possible. But I think it's going to take a lot more to help the people get over that and help them achieve freedom, democracy. Just in my opinion. All right, anyway, everyone, have a great night. Be well, be blessed, be safe. I'll be on approximately 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we'll cover Reza Pahlavi's speech. And all of you have a great rest of your night, morning, day, whatever it is. And I'll see you all